Good afternoon, or should I say good evening? This is Blake with East West Football. I got Robert Street here with me,
What's going
as you
on, man?
know. How
What's
you
going
doing
on,
today,
everybody
Rob?
out there? Yeah, what's going on, everybody out there? Hope you're having a good Thursday night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tonight we're gonna break down the AFC East. As you guys know, we've been kind of going through some of these divisions and just kind of breaking them down, getting you ready for what you can expect when the season starts. Um, we've done pretty much. We did the entire NFC. We started with the AFC West last week. We're going to do East, and we will get the other two in before the season for sure. But football season is rolling around. It's starting to get in full stride. Training camp started this week. So there's already been some injuries, and guys that were injured, that weren't injured, that should have been injured, I should say, that are here at training camp. So definitely a lot to get into. We are expecting Jay to be on in just a moment. So I'm sorry to any Jets fans, but we're going to start with the Jets first. Um, with that being said, we'll start with you, Rob. What was your most impressive offseason move for the Jets?
Yeah, let me see here. Um, just taking a look.
It's that serious. It's not much, when it comes to the
Yeah,
Jets. It's not much. They
yeah, it's
definitely
not
added some
much.
pieces, but
Yeah, it's not much, man. Not that I see here, not much, man.
I think their best additions in the offseason was definitely their first round pick, Ahmad Sauce Gardner, Cincinnati corner. He this honestly this cornerback class is deep. I was going to say he's probably going to be the best rookie corner, but that's not solidified at all. You got another guy in the same division, Kyrie Elam. I'll talk about him when we get to the Bills. That's also going to be a baller. So I can't even go out of the way to say that was the best corner selected in the draft. It was definitely a good one, and I think once he uses his rookie year, maybe his first year to get acclimated to the league, he's going to be kind of like what Darrell Revis was for him, literally just their island lockdown,
Yeah, when I look
cornerback.
at the Jets, yeah, I would say that guy's the Cincinnati cornerback, Ahmad Sauce Gardner, their
Yeah.
top pick at number 4 after Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, and Derek Stingley. That guy's probably
hmm
going to be their best player right there, the cornerback. If you said he's anything close to Darrell Revis, yeah, that guy should be impressive.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like same thing, like that same puzzle piece. He's just gonna be their lockdown corner. They still have a lot of other stuff to deal with, but they
Yeah,
should be fine at that CB1 spot.
yeah,
We have here with us Jay King.
Yo,
Hopped on in. We were just talking about the Jets.
yeah.
I asked Rob, and we pretty much agreed. So I'll go to you next. But I asked what was the most impressive Jets, off-season transaction I would say, like their most notable addition this offseason. We both agreed Sauce Gardner is probably the most interesting thing so far,
Yes.
but
yeah.
you said same.
I think he's definitely one of their top, like the biggest things that they've gained in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really had a great off season in terms of drafting, honestly. But Sauce is going to make a huge difference for them. I think that the biggest impact we're going to see, the biggest game changer we're going to see from the Jets, not an off season addition, but the thing that's going to the person at least that's going to improve their team the most this year is probably Michael Carter. I think that we're going to see him end up getting some big plays and being able to
Mm-hmm.
run the ball really well
Yeah, I
for
agree.
them. So although I do think Sauce is the best addition, I think Michael Carter's in for a breakout this year. I think he did some things last year that were pretty impressive. So
And Robert, I don't know if you have that draft list pulled up still, but didn't they get Jermaine Johnson from FSU?
linebacker, yeah,
Jermaine
Very
Johnson,
sneaky.
yeah,
or strong safety
yeah,
or nickel, whatever you want. Really he could
Yeah, he
kind
could
of
play
play some
whatever.
positions.
I think FSU
yeah. I
had
see
him.
that guy. Yeah, defensive
They
end, Jermaine Johnson. Yep,
yeah, they got him. They got him playing rusher, like kind of outside rusher, outside
defensive end. Yeah,
linebacker.
he's a defensive end.
See, he's dangerous because he's such a big body.
hmm
I was really impressed with the Jets. I'm actually impressed with every team in the AFC East. I don't know if we've
hmm
touched on all the teams yet, but
No, we just started
No,
Jets,
cool. So yeah, the
but
Jets did have the best of the AFC East. They had the best draft and maybe one of the best drafts in the NFL this year for
mm,
sure.
I I kind of agree with that. The only reason I'll disagree, and we'll wait till we'll start with the Bills. We'll go to the Bills next. But they're the reason why I kind of disagree with that.
Yeah.
But Jermaine Johnson, I know he slipped because of character issues,
Yep.
which minus a handful of guys in the NFL, that never really translates. Those college,
Right.
obviously the kid's college, 17, 18 years old, he's going to make some mistakes and, maybe be a little hot-headed here and there. But that's how you get the Ray Lewises of the generation and stuff, because I guarantee at Miami, Ray Lewis was anything, but cool, calm, and collected. So we'll go to the Bills now. I think their draft is better just because they address pieces they needed. They get Kyer Elam, who's going to come maybe be corner 2. If he's not ready yet, corner 3, working his way in there. That was a huge pickup. They re-signed Tre'Davious White, so their secondary is looking pretty good. As well as Jordan Poyer, their safety. He balled last year. I think he was All-Pro last year. But then on the offensive side, this probably was the best draft pick in this division to me. Was I can't think of his James Cook, Dalvin Cook's little brother.
Yep.
I think that was the best pick just because that literally filled their biggest need. Their biggest need was last year. They had 3 running backs. I played fantasy last year, so I know this. Yeah. God, they had 3 running backs throughout the season that were rotating, getting the
Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. Yeah.
Zach Moss, and then there was one more that came in when I think Singletary got hurt for a little bit, but they didn't have a solid running game. Devin Singletary. Guy at FAU, definitely a great running back, but is he a top? He doesn't have top 10 potential. I won't say
he's small.
Top 5. That pop is coming from me. I'm sorry, guys.
It's good. It was just a little bit. It really wasn't too bad. Yeah, you're good right there. But yeah, I think James Cook, huge pickup. So that shows their need at running back.
Yeah.
I'll jump to you next, Rob. What do we think? What is your most impressive things from the football?
Well, they got that guy coming back, Tremont Edmonds, and you look at the guy they got from Miami last year. What was the guy's name? The rusher Gregory Rousseau. Rousseau, I think, is definitely effective player that's going to do some damage for the Bills. Gregory Rousseau, and obviously, I mean, you got Von Miller, man. I mean, what else can you say, man? You got one of the top defensive players in the league. You were able to get him from the Rams, who were the defending Super Bowl champions from last year. Mm-hmm. You stole him from the Rams, and now he's in Buffalo, and now he has a chance to obviously be a top player here and try to get the Bills to the Super Bowl and maybe win the Super Bowl. I mean,
and that was the big thing with signing Von Miller. I think was Von only wanted to go play for a contender, and and the Bills I think are a coin toss flip away from being in the Super Bowl. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. But if they get ball first in that OT, they probably score first, and they're in the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna blow your bubble.
Yeah.
But we'll go to you.
I'm always contrarian, man. Dude, I'm not a Bills believer, man. I do think they have a lot of pieces. I agree. I think one of the underrated additions that they made this offseason was O.J. Howard. That gives them a huge weapon to allow Josh Allen to dump off to. Another underrated weapon. Huge tight end, hellified athlete. You're going to get Duke Johnson in there too, another running back addition they made that I think is underrated. He's been a journeyman, but he produces everywhere that he goes, right? So they're gaining production. They signed who at receiver to go on the other side to replace Cole Beasley. I'm sorry, it's flipping my mind.
I don't know if they re-signed Cole Beasley yet. I don't know if
they did.
They did. They got that done.
So, but that being said, I think it comes down to Josh Allen, man. I do think that Josh Allen is one of the more electric players in the NFL. He's exciting to watch. He's primetime football. There's no one that can deny that. I don't want to deny him of that at all. But I do believe that his style of play is not one that's effective at winning Super Bowls, if that's what we're going to call it. And I look at teams like, obviously outside of the division, but I look at the Bengals. I look at the Ravens. I look at the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders. And honestly, if Deshaun Watson plays, which obviously it's not looking like, or if they get a replacement quarterback, 1-year rental quarterback in Cleveland, I could see them still being a comparable team in terms of competition there. And the big one that I think a lot of people are not talking about is the Colts in comparison to the Bills. So I would take all of those teams. I would take all of those teams above the Bills. Honestly,
The Colts.
I don't see any team being able to stop Jonathan Taylor with a third-year
think the
breakout
Beast.
Michael Pittman
Beast.
paired up with now Matt Ryan. We just watched Carson Wentz, who I think is a below top half quarterback, and make Michael Pittman look like an all-pro. You know what I mean? So what can we say about MVP Matt Ryan and what he's going to do there? So I know that's outside of the division that we're talking about here, but I'm not a Bills believer, man. I think that the additions that they made this year were big time additions, but I think they made them marginally better though. So like the addition of Von Miller is probably a bigger jump than most of their other additions, but the rest of them were just like Dawson Knox was already a dog at the tight end position. You know what I mean? I can't confidently say that OJ Howard is better than Dawson Knox. I think he's a better athlete, but is he a more productive football player? I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's just things like that I still have questions about the Bills. On top of that, I'm going to get flack for this, but I think Miami is better than the Bills right now today. And I think that the Patriots are just as good as them as well. I don't think they're quite better. Definitely not on paper, but they're within a couple games of the Bills right now. But I would take Miami over Buffalo right now to win that division. Not to win the division, but to beat them out in the playoff match potentially. Yeah.
So before we jump over there, we'll hit the Patriots next and leave Miami for last. I'll give you a second, Robert. Just Jay said what he said. I believe the Bills are a 15-win team, 14-win, could possibly have the best record in the league going into the playoffs. And that is the only quarterback I truly believe right now is much better than Justin Herbert. And that's, as a Chargers fan, that's going to be my base. But that is the only young quarterback right now. Obviously, we're excluding Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. They're GOATs. They're not part of this conversation. But as far as young quarterbacks, that's going to be running this game for the next 10 years. I think the only one right now in my eyes that I would rather have, I wouldn't even rather have Patrick Mahomes. I would rather have Josh Allen than Justin Herbert, and that is it. But this will be great to come back on about midseason and update on this. Rob, are you leaning more towards them being a 15-win team or middle of the pack team, like Jay said?
Well, man, I'm a Dolphins fan, man. I'm from Miami, so
Hey.
I root for my Fins, bro. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. The Bills are still a better team than the Dolphins, but the Dolphins are gonna creep up more on the Bills this year and definitely be a much better team. Hopefully, they could get to the playoffs and win a wild card game, or get to the second round. Obviously, getting Tyreek Hill helps, and you get those running backs, and then obviously, I think Tua is going to take his game to the next level, as well as having Jalen Waddle there. But yeah, I'll just touch on the Bills real quick. Obviously, Cole Beasley, we talked about him briefly. He is still unsigned free agent. So if the Bills want to try to pick him up again, I suggest they do, because right now I'm looking at their wide receiver situation. They only have, other than Stephon Diggs, they only have two wide receivers, I guess, on the roster signed. They have Khalil Shakur and Isaiah McKenzie. So they might want to re-sign Cole Beasley for added depth. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And I don't know if they have Jamison Crowder on the team too, because I'm looking here, I'm seeing Jamison Crowder. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, everything with the Bills comes down to pretty much Josh Allen. Has he taken that next step? We've seen how great he is in the regular season, and he's won a playoff game in the playoffs, obviously the wild card. But the Bills have just not been able to take that next step to get to the Super Bowl. They've gotten to the AFC Championship game. They got to the AFC divisional round. They just got to be able to take that next step to get to the Super Bowl. And believe it or not, man, I mean, it's tough living up here where I live. I live in Buffalo, man, and these fans are like brutal.
You're in Buffalo and you're a Miami fan. That's
man, that's tough. Yeah, man, it's tough, bro. Yep. There's not too many Dolphins fans up here. I mean, I grew up in the South Florida area rooting for the Dolphins, bro. So I've pretty much been a Dolphins fan my whole life. So I mean, I can't jump ship on my team now.
Of course.
Yeah, so I still got. Yeah.
I love that we have mixed opinions on this, and it's kind of the same thing with the AFC West last week too. We all had like really mixed opinions on this division, which if you go back 2-3 years in football, it wasn't like that. Like these divisions have been so and so is the top dog, so and so is the bottom dog, and the other two are going to fight for middle. A lot of these divisions have been like that for the last 5 or so years. So it is cool that we have these different opinions, but it's only because they could be true. We don't know right now who's more right. Me with 15 wins or Jay saying middle of the pack. We honestly have no idea right now. So I do think this will be interesting to come back and look at about midway through the season. But we'll go ahead and jump to the Patriots. We'll say Miami for last just because they obviously had the most interesting offseason out of the league. But the Patriots, I have very mixed feelings about the Patriots right now because a lot of stuff coming out of Patriots camp is saying Mac Jones is the guy. They're not even stressing it. They're going to let him grow into his own. They have their quarterback of the future. But that sounds good. It sounds great. But who is he throwing to? You just lost like anybody familiar he had last year, minus I think he still got one guy from last year that was there last year. But them not being that, literally me not remembering their names only means that they didn't do anything memorable because, I cover football year round. So the fact that I can't, off the top of my head, name you the New England wide receivers, minus the one that just left, it just goes to show you New England has a lot of other problems besides quarterback, and it seems like that's all I'm hearing about. Oh, Mac Jones lost weight. Oh, Mac Jones been in the playbook. Oh, Mac Jones don't get all the hype, but he's going to be the best one in that class. That's all I'm hearing. What about the defense that y'all just lost J.C. Jackson, that we just came and yanked J.C. Jackson off of? You know what I'm saying? The guys literally locked down corner only, and then you lose Stephon Gilmore last year. You know what I'm saying? That defense, Calvin Noy's gone, which I'm pretty sure he made a stop in Miami before he made it to the Chargers. But they've lost a lot of guys, man. And everybody hears about the Patriot way. I know you guys have obviously heard about the Patriot way, as far as like next man up type mentality. Yeah. But what man? Well, who's the next man up? Edelman's got to come from somewhere. The Wes Welker's got to come from somewhere. But these aren't those Patriots anymore. So I honestly think the Patriots could be right there with the Jets towards the bottom of this league. I do still think they win about 7 to 9 games, but I think the Jets' high ceiling is about 7 games. So I think they'll be right there around the Jets. We'll start with Jay first, or we'll start with Jay first. Do you have any positive offseason moves besides the Mac Jones gobble? You know what I'm saying?
He's having something wrong with his.
Oh, you're muted on me. You're muted on us. You're
muted. Yeah. Unmute. I can't hear him, so.
Yeah, I can't hear you now. Try to unplug your headphones, plug them back in. Can't hear nothing now. Rob, we'll go ahead and go with you while he's getting that fixed. What are we liking about or not liking about the Patriots so far?
I hate to say it, man, but they lost our best wide receiver. It's been with us for the last since probably like 2014. They got Devontae Parker.
They did get Devontae Parker.
Yeah, they got Devontae Parker. So
I apologize.
Yep, they did make him. That was the biggest move I think they made, was getting Devontae Parker, who I think is a hell of a wide receiver. He did a good job in his time in Miami, kind of on and off.
I'm gonna kick you out, Jay. Just come back in.
Yeah, on and off hurt sometimes, but pretty much a reliable wide receiver. Good size, good speed. So I really miss Devontae on the Dolphins. But hey, if you want to win in this league, you got to get speed and depth, and we got it with Jalen Waddle now, and obviously Tyreek Hill being there. I just really hope these guys are just worth the money. I heard Tyreek Hill come out and say that he thought Tua Tagovailoa now is the most accurate quarterback in the league. I don't know about that because he was playing with Patrick Mahomes, so that remains to be seen. But I mean, we will see what happens. We will see what happens. But New England's always can be a tough team to play because they live off the Belichick way and his defense and the whole Patriot way. But to me, they're very poor at drafting offensive players. When it comes to like drafting offensive players, they're not good at drafting offensive players. They're good at drafting defensive players on the defensive side because Belichick is usually more of a defensive coach. But when it comes to the offensive side, they're signing like free agents from other teams are picking them
Mm-hmm.
up or what. You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they got Nelson Aguilar, who was with them last year. They got Jacoby Myers. They got Kendrick Bourne, who's with the 49ers. Nelson Aguilar, obviously, he came from the Eagles.
Yeah.
They got the very good special teams guy, Matthew Slater, who's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Montgomery, who's been around the league, a few different teams.
Mm-hmm.
They have this other guy. I have to check him out, Tyquan Thornton. I don't know too much about him. I guess he's a running back, a wide receiver.
I mean, you look at that, you hear those moves, and it's like, oh, you're making moves, but you compare that to the rest of the league, and even just this
Yeah,
division, like Miami just went and got Tyreek.
Sorry to cut you off, but can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good, you're good. Miami goes against Tyreek. Buffalo signs Von Miller. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people. The Jets, Zach Wilson stepping into his own. So everybody's making moves. And then you have the Patriots, who, like you just said, is picking up free agents and doing all that. What you got for me, Jay?
Hey, man, I heard how Big Rob started off with Devontae Parker. I 100% agree. I agree 100%. That's a very underrated pickup right there. Him and Tua just didn't have a good connection, and I think it was less about that.
I think he just broke up on us again. The Devontae Parker thing, though, I completely forgot. Very highly taken out of Louisville.
yeah, he was out of Louisville. I think he
Yeah,
played with
Louisville.
Lamar. If you
Very
ask
like,
me. Yeah, he
yeah,
played with
exactly.
Lamar.
A lot of hope for that guy. Coming to the league. He had some definitely some solid years with the Dolphins, but it seemed like he just could never take that next step. And then, like you said, when Tua came, it just the chemistry just
wasn't there.
off. Yeah. So I mean, we'll go ahead and get to Miami.
Yep.
Nope, can't hear you yet, Jay. We'll get to Miami, and obviously by starting with the Tyreek thing, the first thing I want to address is the Tyreek comments. He said it like multiple times now. Tua is the most accurate quarterback he's ever played with. Yes, Tyreek. In practice, when he's throwing you 5-yard slants against no defense, of course he's going to be very accurate. He's an NFL quarterback, and that's my only gripe with Tua is we definitely saw some big down the field plays with him at Alabama, but for some reason he gets hurt and comes into the league, and nobody regarded him as a big ball guy. We haven't seen that deep ball presence that he definitely had at Alabama, sending out, Devontae Smith and stuff. To make all those guys first-round wide receivers, they had to be catching passes. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't all slants going to the house. So I definitely –
Man, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you're killing us, but I can hear you now. You're going out on it, though. But I was just saying –
out still?
No. Right now you're good. I was just saying how Tyreek's been talking up Tua.
Yeah,
but it's really just because that's his quarterback now. You're not gonna say, "Oh, I'd rather Patrick Mahomes, but I wanted this big ass paycheck." Excuse my language. That's really what it is. He's just putting it on for media. But other than that, Miami signed a bunch for me, anyways. Their running back room looks pretty good to me. A lot of people say it's not
very good.
A lot of people say it's not an running back room, just because there's no like one guy who's really good. But I think the fact that you got that group of guys that they have, I know Mostert being one of them.
I don't know if they follow NFL now in the running back room.
Yeah, so and that's what it is. Like besides the top 5 guys, there is nobody that's really outstanding at the running back position for more than a couple of weeks. So I do like the committee of running back style that they're taking here. But their offense obviously was definitely their biggest improvement to me this offseason.
Well, before I jump on Miami, I'm going to go back to the Patriots. Because I don't know if we talked about our ranking of that division, but I think I got the Bills 1, Miami 2nd, Patriots close behind, and the Jets last. But about the Patriots, talking about the who's, when we refer to the defense, most of their defense held out that last season, the COVID season. They didn't play, for the most part, a lot of their big names didn't play. They did get some retirements. But it's the Bill Belichick defense. They're going to be good. We can count on that. Offensively, there are questions. Jacoby Myers broke out last year, though. Devontae Parker's struggles, I think, were more so with being paired with Ryan Tannehill early in his career, who was kind of a project quarterback coming in, having played 3 years of wide receiver at Texas A&M. So that didn't hurt. That didn't help him much. When you look at Mac Jones, I think he was 3 or 4 plays away from being the 1 seed in that division. Just a couple throws that could have gone his way that didn't, type deal. The running back room is ridiculous between Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson. I don't think they're going to pick up James White. I think he'll end up getting a IR designation again.
Do you think they have the same production they did last year? That running back.
Absolutely, I do. I think Ramondre Stevenson is too dominant, too powerful, and Damian Harris is like a young Mark Ingram. Right now, maybe a young Ray Rice. He's got some gas in his tank that can go. And then it's Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith at tight end. I think they're good offensively. I think they got strong offensive weapons. And Nelson Aguilar is a touchdown machine. You know what I mean? So they just have pieces there. Now, when we look at Miami, though, I think they're ridiculous right now. I think we got weapons all across the board in Miami. The running back room is ridiculous. And I don't think Tyreek Hill is just blowing smoke. I do think that Tua's improved on his game and that he's heard everything that everybody's been saying about him, and that he's eager to prove people wrong, and that he will, especially receiving a weapon like that, a receiver that
he has no excuses whatsoever. I think you went out on us again, though, Jay. But I mean, that's great stuff. Jay always comes on here with great stuff, and he counters what I'm saying, but he makes sense. It makes sense. I literally just sat there and told you, I don't think the Patriots offense is going to be good, and he just told you every reason why the Patriots offense is going to be good. I think Miami is really relying on Tua to even make the playoffs, I believe, or even have a good season. He's over here saying Tua's made a big improvement. So let's hear it from the Dolphin man himself. What are we expecting coming into this new season?
I expect Tua to have a good and big year, because I mean, this is pretty much his last chance to prove himself. I mean, he's been in the league a couple of years. I mean, people have said this guy has a noodle arm. He's accurate. He can't throw the ball down the field. He's too small. He can't do this. He can't run. He can't do this. So I mean, this is pretty much his last year. I mean, loaded up with weapons. They got your new running backs. You got Sony Michel. You got Chase Edmonds. You got Raheem Mostert. And you got at the wide receiver position, you're loaded. You got obviously Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They still have Mike Gesicki as the tight end who they franchised.
Gesicki is low key one of my favorite tight ends coming into the season.
Yeah, they got him. So
and who if you're looking at it, who's wide receiver 3 right now for them? Just one.
Let me look it up on the depth chart there.
While you're getting to that, we're talking a lot about their offense, but that defense. Not this past season, but the season before that, I know you remember they were like leading the league as far as turnovers and stuff.
Yeah,
that defense.
Solid.
So I'm wondering if they get back to that. You have the linebacker Van Ginkel. He was really good. He was really good that year. I'm talking about 2020, not as much last year. So once you get that wide receiver 3 for me, I want to hear what you think as far as the defense.
Looking at our wide receivers, the rest of our wide receivers, we got Preston Williams.
Okay,
Lynn Bowden Jr. And we just signed Mohamed Sanu. Mohamed Sanu can play like he did years ago. Like that would be a great signing to get Mohamed Sanu. But we'll have to see what happens with him. And Preston Williams
have a lot of speed.
Yeah, a lot of speed. Preston Williams is a good wide receiver. He's kind of big. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Devontae a little, but he just gets hurt too much. And that Lynn Bowden Jr. guy, he's super fast, like almost like Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. So,
okay. Well, let me hear about this defense.
Let me check out the defense now.
I know Javon, Holland, the safety rookie last year. He got like no exposure. And I don't have his stats pulled up right now, but if you look at his stats. As far as for a rookie safety, he put up some numbers. And with the rest of theirs, you guys are stacked at corner right now. Yeah. So that safety is definitely a spot to try to target. Yeah. If you're opposing quarterback. So he put in some work last year. If he takes any kind of step from last year, he's gonna be serious. And honestly, to me, my favorite position on defense, even though I was a defensive lineman guy, is safety. If you have a good
Yeah.
safety, I've never seen a bad defense
Yeah.
or a good defense with a bad safety. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you have a good safety, your defense is usually pretty straight most of the time.
Yeah,
So
we got a lot of talented players on defense, man. And, we got Emmanuel Agba, who's vastly underrated on a national level. This guy is a pass rusher. He could come after the quarterback and really get after him. And then obviously we got Xavier Howard, who just signed a big contract. He's our top cornerback. Also Byron Jones.
Yep.
And we have the edge rushers, man. You got Jalen Phillips, the guy that came out of Miami. And you got also Melvin Ingram, who was very talented, has been in the NFL.
So that's Melvin Ingram. Melvin Ingram's in Miami right now.
Yeah, Melvin Ingram's in Miami, man.
I
know he came from your Chargers, man.
We let him go after.
Yeah, you let him go.
The Chiefs pick him up. He plays for the Chiefs for a bunch of games. Then he plays with the Steelers that same season. And I was just talking to somebody the other day, and I don't know where he went, but he's with the Dolphins. He's definitely a great edge rusher. I don't know if he's past his prime yet, but I know with the Chargers he was very disruptive. He wasn't always successful, but he's very disruptive. Like the quarterback's gonna have to take an extra second to think when they see him coming.
Yeah, definitely, man. We also got defensive tackle. He's from I think Clemson, Christian Wilkins.
Christian Wilkinson, yep.
Yeah, he's good. And then we got the linebacker, Jerome Baker. He very good linebacker. And he said that the safety positions, I definitely agree with you on the safeties. We drafted this safety like I think not this year, but last year. Yeah, we got Javon Holland. Yep. Javon Holland. That dude's a very underrated safety, and we got Brandon Jones. Yep. So that defense is looking very good. Hopefully they look the same. To me, with the Dolphins, it's always been the offense that has been the problem with them. And now that they got all these guys on offense, now they should be equally good on offense like they are on defense. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited to see Tyreek Hill with another quarterback because he's for the Chiefs anyways. He's literally a game changer. You could be down 3 touchdowns and he'll get you 2 of them back on 2 plays. Where he just catches the ball 5 yards and beats you. So that's one thing I'll be watching a lot is Tua is so accurate. Tua is a great quarterback. Are all his yards of Tyreek Hill going to be wide receiver screens and slants and outs or is he going to be able to hit him downfield when he burns? Tyreek's going to burn most of these corners in this league. So I'm excited to see if Tua can actually hit him, 65 yards, on a bomb going down the side of the field. So
if you look at Tua, I mean, like when he was at Alabama, he had all great offensive linemen. That's why he was able to have the time to be able to throw the ball down the field to hit those wide receivers for all those big time plays. So as long as the Dolphins have a good offensive line and they can block and give him time, he should have enough time to throw it to obviously Tyreek Hill and obviously Jalen Waddle and get the ball down the field to obviously Mike Gesicki as well, who's a very talented tight end. And they also should be able to run the ball too. They should have success running the ball. Yeah. Hopefully all those running backs healthy. We got a 3 solid core running back with Sony Michel, Chase Edmonds, and Raheem Mostert. I'm hoping all these guys could stay healthy, and then
So
go ahead.
Top to bottom. Jay said how he didn't believe in the Bills earlier, but then said he got the Bills going first in this league. So I was going to ask him about that. If he gets back on, I'm going to ask him about that. But he had the same ranking I did. I got Bills first with about 15 wins. And then Miami comes in behind at about, I think the low for y'all is about 9 wins, 10 wins. But you guys, in my eyes, can win 13. Maybe, this could be a 13, 14 win team if everything goes smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like just in 2020 where they had, I forget how many weeks it was. They went on they lost 5 games straight and then won 5 games straight or something like that year.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see the consistency there. This was definitely a fun division to break down because we're talking crap about the Jets right now, but Zach Wilson could come out next year and just totally dominate and it'll be a new era. The Jets won't be at the bottom of the division no more. Yep. So we'll see. I
got Buffalo. I still got Buffalo 1, but I still think they're clearly the best team in the division. And the thing is with Miami against Buffalo, Miami struggled with them. Miami got blown out by Buffalo the last couple of times they played.
It's a tough matchup.
Until they start beating the Bills more consistently, at least in Miami or whether it's in Buffalo, I can't put Miami ahead of Buffalo yet. I want to, but it's like I have to see how they do against them first.
And it was the same thing with the Patriots. Remember,
Yeah,
nobody you couldn't put the Miami above the Patriots because they was always
or Buffalo. You couldn't put Buffalo over the Patriots either.
Yeah, same. Yeah, because nobody could get over that hump. Even last year, in that big snowy game, where Mac Jones only threw 2 passes, they beat beat Buffalo, and that's just I think that comes down to coaching. But so you said your 1 was Bills, 2 is Miami, and then what do you have? Where do you have
I'll go with the Patriots 3. I mean,
the Patriots. I think it's going to be a little closer than you think, but
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. The Jets might improve a little bit, but I still don't see them overtaking the Patriots yet. The Patriots are right there in 3, solidified in 3. Miami's playing New England week 1. Anytime New England goes down to Miami, they struggle. So Miami should be able to win that game. But anytime Miami goes to New England, they struggle too. So, that Dolphins-Patriots rivalry is kind of like grown over the years,
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when Brian Flores was down there.
Yep. And it's crazy too. I think, especially with the NCAA stuff happening as far as realignment, I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years we see the NFL talk about the same thing. Because how is Buffalo and New York Jets and the New England Patriots playing the Miami Dolphins twice a year? How that's a very weird division for me.
Yeah, because they're all in the Northeast, so
you
only got to go that one.
Yeah.
Miami's hot. Yeah, Miami's hot year round, so it's like.
But Miami never knows if they're about to go play a snow game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe they should move Miami to the AFC South with the Jacksonville Jaguars and Tennessee Titans.
You'd like that one.
Yeah, that would be better. That would be a lot better because then maybe you can move the Colts to the AFC East.
Yeah, there you go.
That would make sense, bro. If I'm looking at like where they are in the country, like
look at it on a map. Yeah, it makes more sense.
As I'm saying, college football is stopping to do that too. I mean, now they're trying to put like what Oklahoma and USC and Texas are moving to the SEC. Those are Pac-12 schools. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you got to like break it down by the parts of the country, man. Because these teams, you got to understand, even though they're traveling, thank God it's only once a week that they travel there.
Yeah.
If it was like baseball, like they can never pull that off.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, you're talking about
and basketball too. Basketball couldn't pull that off.
Yeah,
they play multiple
that's
times.
A very interesting angle on this is what does basketball do as far as conferencing after all this pans out with football? What the hell are they gonna do? Because the competition level is different. So yes, Texas A&M's football team can go compete with the SEC, but if you see Texas A&M's basketball team in the SEC, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. So that'll be interesting to watch. I appreciate you coming on, Victor, Rob. This was definitely a good division. Next week we'll probably jump to the AFC South next week. That's going to be one of the worst ones in the league.
Yeah, that's one of the worst in the league. To me.
We got to get Jay's stuff working because this is great content. I appreciate everybody watching live and everybody who's going to watch this later. Yeah. We'll be back on next week. Make sure you're tuned in to all of our social medias. It's down there at the bottom. We literally did 3 shows in the last 24 hours. Fidel, Kendall, and Jerry had a former Seahawks Super Bowl winner on last night. Then you have Costa doing the draft stuff on a tackle today, and then here we are just giving you breakdowns of these divisions, so you know what to look for going up to the season. So make sure you stay tuned in with East West Football. We're definitely going to keep you up to date with everything. We'll definitely give you a good rundown on everything we do. But as always, I appreciate everybody for watching. From me and Big Rob tonight, we are out of here.
Peace.